What is going on, everybody? You are listening to State Your Case by John Cole, WHIP Radio, Philadelphia's #1 college radio station. This podcast centered all around issues political in the state of Pennsylvania. This is the third episode we are doing for it thus far. It's been a fun first two shows talking about everything, not just Philly-centric, but for the state as a whole. We try to kind of touch on the biggest stories in different parts of the state. And this week, I think it's a very eventful week. So I want to get to a story that was bigger a couple days ago, but certainly needs to be talked about. So reports out there that United States Congressman who represents the 10th District, Representative Marino, is going to be tapped by the Trump administration and will be, they dub it the drug czar, which I hate that name on, as we've seen portrayed in the media, because that almost it seems like it's a negative connotation. To me, I think shame on those outlets for calling it that, even if that's what they maybe call it at a national level. Just to me, it's just not right. So he's in a specific role where he's a drug-related in the Trump administration. Expect that he will take that position, and that again happened earlier in the week. Representative Marino, the 10th District, which is Lycoming County, part of northeastern Pennsylvania. So what does that mean? A vacancy in the United States Congress, and that means a special election. And now we start talking about who is going to replace Representative Marino. And why it's noteworthy is because these special elections are big, considering this can help change, just even at a very minor level, that the Congress is controlled by Republicans by such a wide margin, 20 plus. I don't know the exact amount, but I think it's at least 22, if not more. Point being, though, we're seeing these special elections play out already. Earlier in the week in the state of Kansas, a red state of Kansas, where Mike Pompeo, who is heading the CIA, he's in the Trump administration. He was tapped to be in Trump's cabinet. So a district that Trump won by 30 plus. They tapped Pompeo, thinking, all right, well, we don't need to worry about replacing him. The Republicans easily going to win. And guess what? The Republican candidate did win, but it's noteworthy that a district that Trump won by 30 plus, the Republican replacing former Congressman Pompeo, only won it by 8 points. So a 20-some point swing in a district as red as that. So bringing it back to here to Pennsylvania, northeastern Pennsylvania is again, the district that Marino represents, he won it. He's been congressman there for a couple terms. It's a red district, considering they voted for Trump, but it's not the reddest district out there. It's not as red as Kansas's district, in which, again, Democrats just made significant gains into making it a close election. Now, there's no consolation prize where, again, the Democrats can say they didn't take the seat back, but they know that it's some momentum possibly moving forward. So that Marino is now not going to, he's not going to be that congressman there anymore. Now we look at people who are being rumored that are going to try to replace Representative Marino. And we'll take a look at this right now. So it's interesting that the Democrats held the seat 2006 to 2010 before redistricting. Then that's when Representative Marino won. It used to be former Congressman Chris Carney was the representative there. And I interviewed him for WHIP a while back. He's certainly a more moderate candidate, and that's the type of candidate you have to be if you're going to be representing that district, because you're not going to have a Bernie-esque candidate win there. But we're starting to see some names fall in line of who might run. So this article is courtesy of politicspa.com. It's called Battle Already Underway to Succeed Marino in Pennsylvania's 10th District, written by Paul Engelkheimer, the managing editor there. So, again, this special election will be playing out later on. Paul said Politics PA has spoken with a dozen sources in northeastern PA district to learn about who the front runners are for each party's nomination. Because, again, there's a chance that the Democrats could take this back. Although, again, it's a district that went heavy for Trump and by a wide margin. So it's not that I don't think Democrats expect to win this one. But how competitive could it be? So that's why we need to follow this. So for Republicans, it is a crowded field thus far. So for names that are, Politics PA has confirmed that 5 people are actively preparing to run. State Representative Fred Keller, representing Snyder County. Bradford County Commissioner Doug McLinko. Lycoming County Commissioner Tony Musser. State Senator Mario Scavello. And State Representative Jeff Whelan, representing Lycoming County. And there's also a potential 6th candidate as well. Several sources said Marino's district director, Dave Weber, is one of the top names being rumored as well. We'll see if Weber decides to hop in the race. But we're looking at people who, again, it's going to be a crowded field. McLinko was, he's one of those bigger names in it. McLinko is a 4-term county commissioner in Bradford County, and he's serving his second term as the commission chairman. And he commented on the type of career that Marino's done. He says Marino's done a terrific job for the 10th, and I think I would do a good job continuing his work. So, in a sense, it's interesting because he also, back in 2013, he floated a possible primary challenge to Marino. So it's someone who, a couple of years back, it was rumored he was possibly trying to unseat him. But now, as Marino is going on to the Trump administration, some nicer things to say about him. So I guess we'll break down more about these candidates, though. Keller, Representative Fred Keller, state rep representing Snyder County. He was just elected to his 4th term in the State House in 2016, represents Union and Snyder counties. He said, if Marino moves into the administration, I will be entering the race for the 10th district. So he's confirming that. Although, again, it's not 100% confirmed that yet, but it's very well expected that Representative Tom Marino will be entering Trump's administration. And Musser, the 2-term county commissioner, also confirmed he was weighing a bid with Politics PA. He said, it would be an honor, but I would refrain from making any decision until I see what the party wants. So, again, not confirmed there. And they also seeked comments from Scavello, Weber, and Whelan, but they did not comment at the time this article was posted. So the Democrats, again, this is a district that went heavy for Trump. President Trump won 66% of the vote there to Hillary Clinton's 30%. So again, you would think you rate this off for Republicans, and most likely they will win this. But in past elections, it was closer. John McCain beat Obama there by 15 points, and President Bush beat Kerry there back in 2004 by just shy of 30%. This time, again, it was a 36-point swing. This really was in Trump's favor. But, again, since what we just saw with Kansas, maybe there's a chance the Democrats can make a push. So let's talk about the Democrats that are possibly weighing a bid. So you have Chris Carney again, combat veteran of the United States Navy. He represented PA 10 from 2006 to 2010, and he lost to Marino before redistricting. And he's remained politically active, and he served as an active campaign surrogate for Hillary in 2016. So he was out there. He's keeping his name relevant. Heck, he joined us on WHIP back in, I want to say in the summertime. I did a one-on-one interview with him via the phone about his support for Secretary Clinton. And this is the time before the primary was even over. And he's a much more moderate candidate, someone that I could see as a Democrat possibly getting the bid. Former Bradford County Commissioner Mark Smith ran for lieutenant governor in 2014 and currently serves as Governor Tom Wolf's Director of Government Affairs and Outreach. It's rumored that he is considering a run. Scott Bryan, who founded a business in the oil and gas industry, challenged Marino in 2014 and won 25% of the vote. In that same election, independent candidate Nick Troiano took 12%, and Marino defeated Mike Molsovich 70 to 30% in 2016. So again, Marino just won this seat by 40%, but it's not Marino running again. And we're looking at other people possibly running. So we mentioned those names that are considering it. Each party's nominee is chosen by a conference of the county parties within the district, precinct-level committee people who reside in the 10th district vote, and each state party compiles and certifies the results. Each state party has the seldom used authority to overturn the choice, but that's very, very unlikely. And again, PA10 is a really big district. It spans parts of 4 television markets, including part or all of 15 counties. Bradford, and here are the counties, the 15 of them. Bradford, Juniata, Lackawanna, Lycoming, Mifflin, Monroe, Northumberland, Cumberland, Perry, Pike, Snyder, Sullivan, Susquehanna, Tioga, Union, and Wayne. So again, here we are that we have 5 Republicans seeking it. We think there could be a 6th. 4 Democrats possibly seeking this position. So just when you thought when 2016 is come and gone, and we already had our sights towards 2018, but here, we're talking about another election we're going to have in the state of Pennsylvania, in northeastern PA, Pennsylvania's 10th district. Big district again. Heavy Republican. We expect a Republican to retain that seat. But the question is who, and let's see how good of a fight the Democrats put up. If Marino won that seat by 40% just a couple months ago, if the Democrats only lose by, let's say, 20, would they be happy with that result? Obviously, they're not happy that they don't take the seat. But in a sense, moral victory that they're putting up a good fight. And maybe that gives them some confidence going into 2018. So, sticking with state-level issue, we're going to bring it to Harrisburg. Governor Wolf, actually the next two stories will be Governor Wolf related. So it's interesting. So Governor Wolf, he will be seeking a second term next year. It's interesting when you run for governor. In the primary there's a separate election of governor and lieutenant governor, and it's interesting. So you don't run as a ticket in the sense that before in the primary you don't run together. So Wolf won his primary. Mike Stack, who's my former state senator, won his primary. So the two get paired together, and they've run now. Of course, he's currently the lieutenant lieutenant governor. Sorry. And it's interesting that a little bit of infighting there, you could say. Governor Tom Wolf has ordered the Office of Inspector General to investigate Lieutenant Governor Mike Stack's treatment of his security detail and employees in the Lieutenant Governor's mansion. The caucus first reported on the investigation that is being led by Inspector General Bruce Beamer. It's accused that Stack and his wife have verbally abused their security detail and staff at the Lieutenant Governor's mansion. The investigation will test the strength of an already tenuous relationship between Wolf and Stack. So again, although they're nominated separately, but they're on the same ticket. And it's interesting, during that campaign that year, this is according to politicspa.com, Paul Engelkheimer, once again the managing editor there. This article posted April 12th, that look, these two, although they're on the same ticket, they barely campaigned side by side, only making one campaign appearance together in 2014. And as we roll to his re-election bid in 2018, PA just voted red. They just voted for Donald Trump. So it leads you to believe, look, how safe is Wolf's seat? We really don't know right now. And the infighting there is certainly not a good look. And since taking the office, according to this article, that the two have not grown closer, continuing to shy away from joint appearances. And depending on the result of the investigation, it could open the door to a primary challenge for Stack, which is really interesting. Politics PA also reached out to a comment from Lieutenant Governor Stack. He did not comment on this ongoing investigation, but some trouble there up in Harrisburg between Governor Tom Wolf and Lieutenant Governor Mike Stack. It's interesting. I wonder if they find something that turns out to be maybe not damning, but something that is not a good look for Lieutenant Governor Stack. If he gets a primary challenge, what if he loses? Do Democrats want this kind of headache going in? You'd want them to be unified, but it's not a good look if the Lieutenant Governor gets in trouble again for mistreating those who work for him, his security detail. To the average Pennsylvanian, that's certainly troublesome, and you have to be annoyed that someone in a position of power like that, him and his wife, are not treating them. Again, this is not confirmed that they have, but they're investigating it. Again, the Office of Inspector General is investigating this into Lieutenant Governor Mike Stack. But keeping it with Governor Tom Wolf, and a little Philly twist to this story. So today, April 14th, Governor Tom Wolf is now calling for Philadelphia District Attorney Seth Williams to step down. As we know, all the scandal that's plagued with Williams' office the past couple months, the two-term district attorney in the city of Philadelphia is not seeking re-election. He was charged with 23 federal counts, including bribery and corruption. He has his own legal issues to deal with. And Governor Wolf, now, I think in part he's doing this because if he stands by him, it's just not a good look for his re-election bid. So he calls him out, and he is now stepping. He's telling Seth Williams it's time to step down. Here's the statement that was issued from Governor Wolf. While District Attorney Williams, like any defendant, is entitled to the presumption of innocence, it is clear that his focus should be on his defense and is beyond time for him to step down immediately from his post as district attorney. The people of Philadelphia need a district attorney fully focused on and legally capable of executing the important duties of the top law enforcement official in Pennsylvania's largest city. His resignation will allow the employees of the office to focus on their work and help the citizens they serve move on. Williams agreed to have his law license temporarily suspended, mind you, and he could go to the trial by the end of May. But so now Democrats, again, not exactly the best couple year span here in the state of Pennsylvania, with Kathleen Kane, former Attorney General, former United States Representative Shaka Fattah, former State Rep Leslie Acosta, and here's another example with DA Seth Williams. And we saw, and after these accusations come out, and after the indictments, you've seen that the Democrats, as they did with Kathleen Kane, they called for her to step down. She did. There's Democrats and those in the race right now have called for Seth Williams to step down, saying he should be focused on his own defense. And again, his law license is currently temporarily suspended, and he agreed to this. But look, now we're starting to see the Democrats kind of saying this is a bad look at the national level. Imagine if all you see of the Pennsylvania Democratic Party is scandal after scandal, and he's still holding this office. It almost reeks of something that it's the new norm where you're just tolerating it. And now Governor Wolf going out there saying it's not only did he say it's time for him to step down, it's beyond time, which is, again, a statement that shows feels pretty adamant about this. I'm almost surprised he didn't do this sooner, to tell you the truth. But nonetheless, he's still making the statement. And I think it's ultimately, one, I think he probably does believe he should step down, and because, for ethical purposes. But at the same time, political purpose, you have to realize that if you were to stand by Seth Williams, imagine Governor Wolf campaigning in different parts of the state. And a reporter, someone asked him, why are you standing by someone who's currently being faced with 23 federal counts, including bribery and corruption of all the gifts he took as DA? And imagine Governor Wolf trying to rationalize that, especially if Seth Williams is found guilty on these. Let's say we don't know yet, but what if Seth Williams is found guilty? What if Seth Williams does jail time? And he stood by him saying he could continue to hold that office? It's smart for Governor Wolf essentially to call him out and say, look, it's time for you to step down. He has his own defense to worry about. So Governor Wolf weighing in on Seth Williams, again, the two-term district attorney here in the city of Philadelphia who is not seeking re-election. But that'll do it today for State Your Case with John Cole. We do it once a week, so again, follow all the other stuff on WHIPRadioTU.com. We have plenty of other interviews up there. Recommend you checking out my interview that I've done the past week or so with the district attorney candidates. We've interviewed Joe Kahn, which is on WHIPRadioTU.com, Larry Krasner, and Tarek El-Shabazz, and we plan on getting the rest of the candidates up there. For all that coverage and more, go to WHIPRadioTU.com. So thank you for listening once again to State Your Case with John Cole. I'll be back next week.